r/ask Reddit. What's something that people think makes them look cool but actually has the opposite effect? When people play their music loud at the gas pumps. I recently saw a woman leave her toddler in the car with the crappy music blasting to the point that it was uncomfortable and unpleasant for everyone else pumping gas while she went into the store. Felt bad for that child. My ex did this with our kids. I had to sit her down and explain what was inappropriate about it. She seems to honestly not know it looked more white trash than cool. She's trashy edit. Changed white trash to trashy. My ex's skin color is irrelevant. Having a phone conversation on a loudspeaker in public, or blasting shitty music from a cheap oversaturated BT speaker on public transport. We get it. Negative attention is also attention. But taking over a public space with your edginess is just being an a-hole. My parents have recently discovered speakerphone and refuse to believe there is such a thing as speakerphone etiquette. I'll be talking to them and all of a sudden I'll hear, "So do we know what we want to order?" And I realize they've been holding this entire conversation on speakerphone in a restaurant surrounded by people trying to enjoy their dinner. Oh. And I have thought that my parents are the only one. The absolutely worst case they had done it was when there were a family's friends staying at their place. Parents called me and haven't mentioned anything about being on speaker. They told me about having a last night full of drinking and some stuff. So I asked whether it was okay because one of their guests is quite aggressive and unpleasant when she drinks. And yet, she was sitting next to them. They went like, "But hun, she is sitting next to us. You are being rude." Am I being rude? You are the ones that brings personal talks to the table. I still felt ashamed even though what I said was true. Kids bragging about their parents' wealth and success. Man. People who say, well, my parent is blah 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 like they know or can do the same things their parents can really gets under my skin. Edit. Hey, I finally noticed it was my cake day before 11 p.m. Thanks everyone. Story. When I was in like 6th grade on the school bus, someone said something and brought attention to me. This girl exclaims, "EW, you have lice." To which I respond, "No I don't. It's dandruff." And she comes back with, "No, it's lice, my mom's a hairstylist." And all I could say was, "So?" Then went back to sleep as best I could. It's not that they're trying to tell you they can do the same stuff. It's that they want you to defer to them like royalty because their parents are important and powerful. I taught HS and Ms for 7 years. That shit happened pretty routinely. The worst part of it was that it typically worked because of community politics. You don't want to upset the kid of rich parents or parents who are connected to the right people. I had a kid once who was the adopted son of 2 successful attorneys. He was always bragging about his family's wealth and their multiple vacation homes. One time during a parent-teacher conference, the kid all but admitted that the reason he always had several $1,000s in cash on him at any given time, despite his parents taking away his credit and debit cards and cutting off his $400 WK allowance, was because he was selling drugs at school. But we were told, in no uncertain terms by our principal, not to investigate that if we valued our jobs. Sure enough, he got busted off campus selling cocaine a couple of weeks later and went to juvie. One-upping and putting other people down to make yourself look good, rife in white-collar jobs. I despise people who do it. You hate it when people do it to look good. They should just act normal and put people down to feel good. Crying in corner, "Oh you, dude, what's wrong?" Me. Sniff, "My grandma died." "Oh you." Puts hand on shoulder, "Dude, both my grandmas are dead." Please stop blasting your music in places where people cannot escape it. I see your earbuds in your pocket. Please. Salvation. Or having a phone call with your speaker on so everyone has to hear your conversation. Walking around on speakerphone at the grocery store while holding it in their hand. Put it up to your ear. You are already occupying that hand. The hands-free option doesn't have a positive effect in this scenario. Edit. Affect versus effect. Shitting on things other people like. We all have stuff we don't like. But if you spend all your time putting down everything a person is interested in, you don't look cool or edgy. You look like a dong with no interests. Shitting on things other people like. And often it's preceded by the question, am I the only person? As though the dislike makes them special. Even the most popular things aren't enjoyed by a majority of people. Most people don't enjoy Marvel movies or Taylor Swift or a specific sport or a specific religion. If you don't like these things, you are not unique. Just the people not interested in these things don't talk about them because they don't care about them. Telling the world how much you dislike something just makes you a boring person that wants to talk about things you don't find interesting. Talk to people about the things you like, not dislike. I'm not sure if this is just an Australian thing, but people who rev their cars' motorbikes really loud, and it's usually quite late at night while most people are trying to sleep. Guess it's a thing worldwide. Yeah, Cholism isn't country specific. Really nice parkas. People think they look cool, but they actually keep them warm. This made me actually chuckle. Never admitting when you're wrong. It may seem like a confidence power play, however, most people just don't care enough about you to say anything or indicate that they noticed. They'll just slowly drift away from you till one day you're all alone wondering why no one with any level of competence wants to hang out work with you. Hating all genres of music except the one they like. I learned this the hard way by only liking heavy metal and shitting on all other music without giving a chance as a teen. Metal's still my favorite, but all genres have good music. Honestly, I've seen far more elitism in the metal community than any other music genre I've been involved in. It's a shame because metalheads are usually some of the most chilled, open-minded people you could find, until you start talking about music. I have been guilty of this in the past. Being into zodiac signs and using them as an excuse for any of their unlikable behavior. Did you see how I snapped on that waiter? I'm sorry, but Mercury is in retrograde and this Cancer doesn't have time for his shit. Oh, that's cancerous, alright. My husband just got his hair cut into a ducking mullet, so there's that. Edit. Whoa, this blew up, lol. Sorry babe. Open bracket. And thanks to the kind strangers for the silver and gold. He really likes it. I am not quite a fan, but if it makes him happy I will keep my complaints semi-anonymous and on Reddit. If he drives a 70s Trans Am, your husband is just badass. Extra points if it's gold. Weed. It's fun and all, but it's not a goddamn personality. But, 420. XX Cushmaster 420XX has entered the chat. I unironically like wearing fingerless gloves for actual tasks, not just out and about. When people ask me why I wear them, I tell them it's because I'm so cool. I'm not exactly certain how uncool they make me, but I know it's a lot. I like the fingerless gloves with finger flaps. Straight up fingerless means my fingertips die little, but I still want to be able to do finger activities inside without taking my gloves off. Finger activities. A lot of Redditors seem to think that stolen witty one-liners make them look like the patron gods of debate and reason. The next time I see someone say I came for a battle of wits but it seems you came unarmed, unironically I will set their house on fire and then myself. I came for a battle of wits but it seems you came unarmed. Be right back, going to fire store. I've been into the import tuna scene for close to 20 years at this point. Now this was more a style of the time, say 15 years ago. Backwards upside down visor hats. WTF. Why was that a thing? It'd make more sense to walk around with an onion tied to your belt. They think so fast their brain needs a spoiler. Go to spoil that laminar flow somehow. Elitism. It's ducking stupid to attack someone who enjoys a hobby only just because doesn't put his life on it. Oh, you hate elitism? Name 3 elitists. Only 3? What are you? A poser? When babies get excited about walking. Real f-king cool baby. I can walk too. Yep, smug little bastards. Not only that, but you can walk better than that shitty baby. Probably run too. Grown women who use baby talk to other adults in normal conversation. No, you are not cute or cool or whatever the hell you think you are. Weirdo. You would hate Korea. We don't like it too, unless they are very cute, and even then, we like them for how cute they look, not the way they talk. Being a-holes without a reason. I really hate that this is me. From a young age I've always been an a-hole to pretty much all of my friends, and now as I'm getting older I'm realizing how much of an a-hole I am, and I really hate it, and a lot of the time I really try to stop, but it's become so much of a habit that it's really hard. I know that it could be adolescence and I've always struggled with dealing with my emotions. I compress them a lot and let them all out at once and become a complete mess. Especially anger, because I'll lash out at things almost instantaneously. I really hate it and I'm aware of it, it's just really hard to stop. Edit. Thank you everyone so much for all the support. His sounds so cringy, but thank you so much, it has genuinely made me feel quite happy. Being self-aware is the first step to self-improvement. You're on the right path. Bragging about not reading. Bro, people do that. How much they can drink before passing out. Bro, man, or a woman. Ducking applause to you. Great achievement. I'm glad that I get drunk fast because it saves me money. I don't drink at all. Imagine how much I would have saved if I wasn't a candy fiend, haha. I was trying to explain to someone why I gave up coffee. I was addicted and I had started to suffer from insomnia. If I went too long, maybe like an hour or two, without one, I would begin to shake and migraines would set in. Basically just normal effects of overdoing caffeine. She asked me how many I was having, and basically tried to turn it into this competition of, oh, I drink more coffee than you. OMG, I am so quirky and sleep deprived, haha. Stop turning bad habits and other people's issues into a competition of how badly you treat your body. It doesn't make you cool. Edit. Thank you for gold. I work in a coffee shop. So many customers love to weirdly brag about how much coffee they drink in a day and how badly they need caffeine to function. Haha, yeah, throw an extra shot in there for me, that's nothing. I can drink 5 of those in a day. You wouldn't believe how much caffeine I take, haha. Yeah, that's not cool or anything, Karen, you have a legitimate problem. People who say things like I'm just an a-hole. No, you lack the emotional maturity to deal with others and use nastiness as a defense. It's not cool as a trait. Try be nice. Edit. Thank you for the gold and silver. I've never met someone who bragged about being an a-hole who wasn't actually one though. Ah yes. Or I'm a beach. Deal with it. People who come out with life lessons and quotes. They think they are so profound and deep, but I think they come off as big-headed and stupid. My ex puts his own quotes in his Facebook profile picture every month, including the date he said it. It's one of the cringiest things I've seen. He's doing a PhD in philosophy. I study philosophy and it's where I've met some of the most arrogant men in my life. One once lent me a book with poems by T.S. Eliot and it was full of his handwritten notes correcting some of Eliot's poems with better suited words. I couldn't believe my eyes. Bragging about how smart you are to other people. Really surprised I didn't see this one. Edit. Thank you all for the laughs and the replies. Some of your stories about people who are so smart have made my day. Also, poor Trump. One of my exes is a self-proclaimed genius. He was stumped on a word once and I suggested reciprocated. And he got super excited and started talking about how proud he was of me, saying, wow, you helped me with a word, I am so proud of you, in what was close to baby talk. Easily one of the most condescending ways anyone has acted towards me, haha. I have a friend like this and wow, every day I think less of him. He even cites an online IQ test. Having a side chick girl guy, especially in some Instagram comedy cringe sketches where it's relatable jokes. No, it's not funny or cool to cheat on your significant other. You're trash. Edit. This is not about polyamorous people or polygamous relationships. This is about affairs and thinking it's cool to lie to your SO. It has nothing to do with polygamy or polyamory, as they are valid and can be healthy. But cheating and violating your partner's trust cannot. These things should not be aligned in any way and are completely different. Edit 2. How is this getting so twisted? The point is literally cheating is bad. How is that so polarizing? I thought this said sidekick and I thought that would be hella cool to have a sidekick. That should be more socially accepted. Boasting about having psychiatric issues. Edit. To clarify, bragging about self-diagnosed ones, or pretending to have mental issues. People literally brag about their depression like they're talking about their phone. New features like, well, my depressions comes with self-hatred and no motivation. God, I hate the romanticization of mental illness and especially depression since I have chronic and long-term MDD. There's nothing cool or cute about having to live with an invisible illness that society doesn't understand and treats it like, well, we all get depressed at one point. Bragging about accomplishments, no matter how little, is fine. Though, I'm sure people disagree, but meh, whatever. ETA. Okay. Some people seem to think I'm against some with an illness joking about it. As someone who deals with their own mental illness with humor, I assure you, I'm not against it. Lomfeo. Joking about my MDD makes it a lot more bearable. Judging random people and making fun of the less fortunate. No, you're not cool. You're a douche. When you try to play it cool by not immediately answering the texts of someone you're interested in, just makes you look disinterested at it. Spelling and, obviously, I'm not talking about you, specifically, with your very specific reason for not being able to answer. I'm talking about people who do this intentionally. Okay, I used to not get this, but when you text someone and they take 30 minutes to respond, it always feels weird responding 10 seconds later. Edit. Most people seem to agree that it's not something we do because we think we are cool, but rather we don't want to look like we were sitting there waiting for a response. But some of the funniest responses are those of you who have ascended because you don't get anxious about texting people. I'm sure the number one way you can tell someone is incredibly mature is if they brag about it to random people on the internet. I actually got put down by a Tinder match for my quick responses. I mean, I'm right next to my phone. Why should I have to make power moves with someone I'm interested in? The method-icking 5th graders on my bus yelling about Fortnite at 6 in the morning did it. People took method-icking the wrong way because I put the space. Ducking virgins. Hey, so I has this every morning on my commute and I had enough one day and told them this. It's great that you're excited about something, but we all would like it if you kept it down. Especially since it's so early in the morning. It worked. For reference, I am a 5 featuring 2 lady. Give it a go and report back, friend. For me, it's wearing ridiculously expensive shoes clothing, especially when I know you really can't afford it. I like quality apparel as much as the next person, but there's a point where $350 sneakers are just ridiculous. I had a friend that thought I was crazy for buying a $1,500 TV. I told her last year you spent $800 on a necklace that I have seen you wear twice. I use my TV every day. If it's something you use daily or really enjoy using, go ahead and spend big. Posting photos of cash on social media. I always think it is funny how doing that is commonly accepted, whereas if you screenshotted your bank account or net worth you'd be an a-hole. When people post their weed on Snapchat. Group of teens trying to sound like a badass while talking. Like, hey bro, look how cool I am. I did this and not realizing that it's embarrassing. Flat brims with the sticker still on it. Edit. Thanks for the gold and silver, kind strangers. Being the girl with male best friends who is not like other girls. I don't like female drama. Like, okay, Bethany, we get it. You view women as competition. Just say so and move on. I'm on a bus full of idiots and most of the conversations I hear anymore is how people will try to get into a relationship just for sex. The target usually being called horrible things, like beach. I also hear things such as people bragging about how bad they are, and how many felonies they have and how much of a total ducking dunt they are. One thing I don't get is people bragging about how manipulative they are. Like, okay, good job, now I trust you even less. This makes me sad. Yesterday while waiting for the bus I overheard a group of 4-5 kids hanging out. Looked like maybe they all knew this one kid and not each other. They were all being awkward and not talking, just looking at their phones. Then this other kid looked up and kinda shyly asked, wanna see an awesome trampoline trick I did? And chose this video on his phone. They all start freaking out, asking him questions, comparing trampoline strategies, and it was just so wholesome to see some teenagers geeking out over a trampoline. Smoking. Beside edgy teenagers, I have never encountered a smoker who think they look cool smoking. Or well, I met a guy who thought he was James Dean. I'm pretty sure he thought he was the coolest shit ever with a pack rolled up in his sleeve. Vaping as well. Being an a-hole while hiding being the it's just a joke. Stop taking it seriously. Why can't you take a joke statements? Edit. Thanks for the silver. Though everyone talking about their IRL experiences, but I'm just here saying this because of some mingy prick on the internet who decided to follow me around the internet with his friends. People listening to their voice messages with many people around. Bragging about how little sleep they're getting. how many all-nighters they've pulled, how busy they are, etc. Mostly in a school setting. You need to manage your time better. You need to take care of yourself. Everyone has different sleep needs in terms of timing and length. On mobile, sorry if formatting sucks. Ducking fedoras. My dad is an attorney in his early 60s and probably one of the last guys in Chicago who wears a fedora with his suit like he's a character in The Road to Perdition. He looks ducking awesome. Every time I see him in the hat I get a little disappointed because I know I'd just look like a doucher if I did the same thing. Imlaria. Duck faces. Confederate flags. Calvin pissing on something. Punisher skull. Tap out bumper stickers. Making jokes at the expense of someone else. If you have to put someone down to make yourself feel and look better, you're shit done. Telling people to kill themselves. You just look like an ass. Anyone else scrolling through the comments to see if they do any of the things people put down? Vaping. Open carrying a rifle around a neighborhood or store just because they can. As a gun owner, please stop. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.